Now let us look at the transformation matrix of a Cartesian manipulator using the DH convention. So we are having three joints here. All the three joints are prismatic. The moment of joint J1, the moment of joint J1 is in Z direction. The moment of joint D2, or sorry, joint J2, so this was J1, and the moment of joint J2 was or is in X direction, and similarly the moment of joint J3 is in Y direction. You can have the manipulator drawn in a totally different way when you look at a different book. Some may draw it as a gantry manipulator, which again is a Cartesian manipulator, or it can be drawn even in some other ways. But basically it will have these three prismatic joints which are having movement in three orthogonal directions, x, y, z. So what we have to do is we have to write the link parameter table, or we have to get the link parameter table. Once we get the link parameter table ready, this is the link parameter table. Once we get this link parameter table ready, we will be able to write the matrix for each row, and then we will be able to get the total transformation matrix using the DH convention. So first, when we start with the DH convention, the first thing is that we have to draw the axis. So the z axis of J1 will be, or any prismatic joint, the direction of z will be the direction in which it is moving. The joint is moving here, it is moving D1, the second joint is moving in D2, and the third joint is moving in D3. So I will draw the axis. So for the J1 joint, the axis can be drawn like in this direction, because that is the direction in which it is moving. Whereas for the second joint, we can draw the axis in this direction, z axis, because that is the direction in which it is translating. The third one is, I have to draw it from the back going inside the page. So let me draw from here, it is going inside. And then the last one is where the end effector might come. So there I will draw the last z axis. So based on this, I can now very easily write that this is z0, because joint 1, so this should be z of 1 minus 1, which is z0. So this is z1, this is z2, and this is z3. Now if you remember, I had told that I will never go for the x-axis from the 0th frame. I will first try to look at what will be the x-axis for the second frame. So this is the frame 1, which is the second frame here. Now we know according to DH convention, it will be for the special case when both the z-axis, that is z1 and z0, are intersecting. They will intersect here. So here z0 I can go, draw on top. In that case, z1 and z0 is going to lie in a plane, and I have to draw the x-axis perpendicular to that plane, so that can be drawn like this. So that is going to be our x1. Now if I want to keep the things simple, it's better that I draw for joint J1, the x-axis I will draw in same direction as x1, because that is left on our choice. So this is our x0 axis, x1 is drawn. Next is at this point for the frame 2, the x2 axis, As we can see, Z1 is going in this direction, Z2 is in this direction, so both of them are intersecting at this point. When they are intersecting at that point, then I have to draw the x-axis in such a direction that it is perpendicular to Z1 and Z2 plane. So that will be, I'm going to draw on top. Even I can draw it in the bottom direction. So this one is my x2 axis. Similarly, the last one is based on, since it's not a joint, and here Z2 and Z3 are collinear, I can draw it anywhere. The only thing is that its direction should be same as the previous, so I will draw the x3 in this direction. I'm reducing the height just because I don't want to cover the top portion, so this is going to be x3. So now the axes are done. I can draw the y-axis, but you all know that it is not advisable. So here, if I'm going to look at theta, theta is the axis, sorry, is the angle with which I have to move in the x0 so that it becomes parallel to x1. Already x0 is parallel to x1, so I will write, so let me take a different pen. Okay, so here theta 1, for the case I am talking about going from frame 0 to frame 1, that is I is equal to 1. 0. Next is I have to move in z direction, so z naught direction. I will move this so that it reaches at the second origin. That means x naught and x1, x0 and x1 are collinear to each other. In that case, the distance moved here, since there is already a variable, I will write this one as d1 star. Next, ai is the, or a1 is the distance to be moved so that x1 and x0 overlap. Here, once I have already done the second step, it's already overlapped, so this will be 0. Next, how much I have to turn in using x1 as the axis of rotation so that z0 overlaps with z1, that is alpha 1. So alpha 1, here you can see directly that I have to move in clockwise direction 90 degrees, so I will write this as minus 90 degrees. If you are having any doubt here, you have to go back, look at the animation to understand how I am filling this row, otherwise it will be very difficult. Okay, for the second case, that is going from frame 1 to frame 2, so again x1 I have to make it parallel to x2. For that, with respect to z1 axis, I have to go clockwise 90 degrees, so theta I will be 90 degrees minus 90 degrees because I am going clockwise. Then next, how much I have to move in z1 direction so that I reach here. So here it's written d2, so I will write it as d2 star. And similarly, once I move that much distance, I will reach here, and x1 x2 are already going to overlap in that case, so this will be 0. And finally, how much I have to shift, was that is clockwise, I have to move 90 degrees, so it is going to be 90 degree. Now you might be sometimes having a doubt that why we are not writing something here. So here, where I am not writing anything about this length, or I am not writing anything about this length. See here, the length could have been L1, some length, then I would have written here D1 plus L1. The only thing is that D1 is variable, so I will write D1 star plus L1. Where? In the first row. In this first row under DI. Similarly, in this case it would have been L2. I would have written L2 plus D2 star instead of just writing D2 star in the second row in the link parameter table. But I have not written that because it's not mentioned. Now if you get a problem where it is mentioned, you should basically write that length. But since here it is not written, I'm not going to write it. Why I'm trying to do in this method is because most of the textbooks follow this kind of a structure. So it's better that we also learn it in that way, but I hope that you will be able to understand where we have to use it correctly. Okay, now going for the third row, which is going from frame 2 to frame 3. Here x2 and x3 are already parallel to each other, so there is no need of any theta I. Next, how much it has to travel, the distance is d3 star. So d3 star, if this frame is going to travel, the origins will already meet, so x2 and x3 will already overlap, so I don't have to move anything in AI. And finally z2 and z3 are also overlapping, so I will basically write this as 0. So that finishes the link parameter table. Now I have to straight away not look at any of the diagrams. Now I have to straight away look at the link parameter table and then write what the matrix will be based on the equation. The equation for writing matrix. So here I can write that this is going to be my A1, this is going to be my A2, and this is going to be my A3, and my transformation matrix, which basically tries to link with frame 3 to 0. I can write it as A1 into A2 into A3. And based on that, I can write first what is A1. For that, we all know that we have to take the equation. So the equation is going to be this one. So now based on this, I can write I will write, let's use this link. So I can write A1 based on these values. So theta I is 0. So I'm going to look about the first I is equal to 1. So A1. So A1 is basically I have to go for this row. For theta I, the value is 0. So cos 0 is 1. Sine 0 is 0. 0, 0. Similarly, here I have to look at sine 0 is already 0, so it will become automatically 0 here. Cos of 0 and alpha is minus 90, so cos of minus 90 will become 0, so this will become anyway 0. Then here I am having sine of minus 90, which is going to be minus 1, then 0. Similarly, for the last one is going to be sine of 0 is going to be 0, cos of 0 is 1, sine of minus 90 is minus 1, minus 1 of minus 1 becomes 1, cos of minus 90 is going to be 0, 0. Then finally what we have is AI distance here is 0, so this becomes 0, 0. Di is d1. I'm not going to put a star here. So this is what is going to be the A1 matrix. Similarly, the A2 matrix will be, and A3 can be written as this. And now I can write the total transformation matrix for this cylindrical manipulator or this gantry robot has 0 T3. That means frame 3 with respect to 0 will be A1 into A2 into A3. The answer of that will be by multiplying all of this together. I will leave that as an assignment so that you get the answer on your own. Thank you.